Hi there, I'm Rob Value. I'm going to do a video about ME, which is an illness I've got. That's M.E. and it stands for myalgic encephalopathy. I can never remember that. It's also otherwise known as CFS, chronic fatigue syndrome, or post-viral fatigue syndrome. Some people argue that they're actually different things, but as far as I'm concerned, they're all names for the same thing. As you can probably tell from the name chronic fatigue syndrome, it's about being tired, and that's the main problem with it. It affects me and obviously everyone else with it by making us extremely tired physically and mentally. For me personally, I feel tired all the time. I don't ever not feel tired. Even when I wake up in the morning and I've had a good night's sleep, I still feel tired. And mentally, it's hard to concentrate, it's hard to think clearly. I get what I call brain fog, where I'm trying to think about something and it's like I just can't put the pieces together. My brain just won't work properly like it used to. I'll give you some background for me. At the time I was working at a company doing administration for pensions, and I was fine there. Obviously I had a few problems. Everyone has a few problems at work, but generally I was happy there. Things were going well. And my life was going well, and then all of a sudden I got a virus which seemed like a normal virus. It went on for like a week and then another week, and it made me feel lightheaded, dizzy, tired, and I thought it was going to go away, and it didn't. And ever since then I've been fatigued. So it seems like I got it, post-viral fatigue syndrome, which is, at the time I believe it's something like 55% of people who get it that way. And then I struggled to carry on trying to work after that, but it became apparent it wasn't possible. It was just killing me, and to be honest, it could conceivably kill people if you had to keep working with this condition. I think it would grind you down, and eventually you'd just collapse, and you'd be either unable to, or you'd work yourself to death. So, I've had to claim benefits. Luckily in England there are some benefits that I can get. It's not a lot of money, but it's a lot better than nothing. So it affects me all the time. I have good days and bad days, but even my good days enough, I'm still weaker than an average person by quite a lot. To give you an idea, like my parents-in-law, they're like 70 and they've got more energy than me. They can do a lot more than me in a day. They can concentrate better, do things. So, it's embarrassing, really. I'm nearly 40. I've had this for nearly getting on 10 years now. And I was really healthy when I had it. I was active, energetic. I used to do lots of sports and exercise. And I've just had to stop. There's no treatment for it, no actual cure or anything like that. All you can do is pace yourself and stop it getting worse, and very, very slowly over time build up what you do. But it's not this simplistic idea that you just do a bit more this week, bit more this week, bit more this week, and then before you know it you're back to full. No. In maybe some mild cases or special cases maybe that would work, but in general, no, we're talking about really, really long timescales, years of building things up, and it may go up and down, it might have to go down as well as up, so it's a matter of adapting to what it is like. The tempting thing is, if you get a little bit of energy, is to push yourself, and if you do that, if you sort of use all the energy you've got and go nuts, you tend to crash the next day. Boom bust, they call it. And it's so easily done. You know, I've got a little bit of energy, I've got to do something quick. You run around, do all this stuff. Then the next day, you're just totally wiped out. Like, I could be like, I can barely move, I can barely open my eyes even. You know, I'm doing better with this now, but at my worst with this, I couldn't get out of bed sometimes anyway. I couldn't do anything. So it's pretty much just ruined my life. I feel like I'm just a shadow of my former self now. I'm just trying to do the best I can with it. But depression set in, and the depression's worse than the ME, you know. Not everyone who gets ME gets depressed, but I'd imagine it's pretty common. A lot of people do. You know, I've been suicidally depressed. Life has been pretty miserable. Yeah, it's not well understood either. There's no actual test for it either. It's done by elimination. People go through, check, could it be this, and this. Other things that could account for the symptoms. And then if they can't find anything else, it's a wastebasket diagnosis they call it, then you say, right, okay, we'll say you've got ME. So it's not necessarily even one specific thing. It could be hundreds of thousands of different conditions, maybe similar ones, that all produce similar symptoms. And the problem is the symptoms are similar to a lot of other conditions, so it can be wrongly diagnosed. It could be you have got something else. Or it could just be something as simple as stress, you know, and then some people get better if they relieve the stress. And in my case, I stopped working, you know, I stopped putting the pressure on myself, and it didn't make any difference, you know, so it seems like this is physiological, not just psychological, or not just related to my environment and my, my status. If I'd have got better when I stopped work, you know, that would have indicated it was to do with the stress. Obviously stress makes it worse, stress makes everything worse. Yeah, I mean, if you've got unexplained tiredness and mental fatigue, you know, go see your doctor and get some tests done. Because it's so easy to just write this off to other things, oh it's this, oh it's that. You know, it could be that this is what you've got. And as I said, there's no treatment, but there is a lot of support you can get. There's the ME Association, their website has got a lot of great information. I was a volunteer for them for a while. I answered the phones to help other people with ME and give them information, but sadly they got too much from me in the end. So there is support out there. You know, there's forums. They've got a Facebook page. A lot of people get pain as well with ME. I'm counting myself lucky that I haven't got that. I don't get pain from that. I mean, I get pain from other things that I've got, but not from that. So I'm lucky. Some people get the pain as well, and you know, I can't imagine how much harder that would make it. You know, some people get stiff joints and you know other symptoms as well. And just to warn you, there are some phony treatments out there, things like the lightning process, Mickle therapy, and all these other things. They're not scientific. They're not proper mainstream medicine. These are, in my opinion, cons, and they're taking advantage of desperate people, and they're using really suspicious methods and claiming results, which could well be just based on the placebo effect, that people feel like they've done something, and then at the end of the course they feel a bit better. They go, yeah, and then they go, oh, you feel better, do you? Okay, well that was successful. But then once that wears off, most of the time they're going to be back where they were. You know, if something like this cures someone, it's basically just therapy with bells and whistles on it, trying to pretend it's something amazing. If that cures you, I don't think you had ME. You know, you just had like stress disorder or just some issues that need addressing. But you know, ME is more than just issues. It's, you know, neurological. All right. Well, thanks for listening to me. I'll see you all later. Bye bye.